This is a warning. The Grim Reaper of radio, Bob Romanik, with his off-the-record show is about to air. He's probably the nastiest and craziest son of a bitch that you've ever had the misfortune to encounter. The Grim Reaper show will be very controversial and probably quite tasteless. If you are even slightly offended by controversial matter concerning religion, racial matters, politics, or life's problems, you are hereby warned to turn this program off immediately. The Grim Reaper show will be, like his face, very scary and very ugly. At this time, not proudly, but shamefully presents to you Bob Romanik, the craziest son of a bitch on the radio today.
This is Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, America's bi-state voice of freedom, radical radio, and we are, as always, proud, very, very proud to be the Patriot. Good Monday morning, everybody. I'm kind of under the weather. Don't feel real good today, but we're gonna try to make it through. Whether we can or we can't, we'll just take it as it goes. We've got some housekeeping to do. I'm going to put a couple shout-outs, but with me, starting off, Chris Hughes. He's the account manager for the Napa Auto Parts. You know, Napa Auto Parts, when I need a part, that's where I go. Those guys, very, very professional. They know, you know, if you go to like Home Depot and you go ask the young guy about paint, this guy's 20 years old. He'll tell you, oh, this paint's good, that paint's good. I take it home and it falls off the wall. And no disrespect to Home Depot or the young guy. They're just trying to make a buck. We need professional people, but when you go to Napa Auto Parts, these guys know what they're doing. They'll give you what you want. And I appreciate that because there's a lot of times not always, but most of the time, you don't get what you want or what you need. But with me today, it's an honor and a privilege. Chris Hughes, he's the account manager for all the Napa Auto Parts, and he's here to talk about something near and dear to him, near and dear to me, and I hope near and dear to every true American. Chris, how the heck you doing, buddy?
Oh, Bob, I'm doing great. Good morning. Happy Monday. Thank you for letting me on.
Hey, I'll tell you what, with what you're going to talk about, I'd let you on anytime. What's going on in your world?
Well, you know, tomorrow evening is the Napa Annual Tool Show, and we're going to be benefiting the Intrepid Fallen Heroes Fund. It's a great fund for your families out there that have lost someone, and they build hospitals. They build a lot. They're a great fund. And what we're going to do is tomorrow from 4 until 9, we're having our big tool show in Bridgeton at the Machinist Hall. We're going to have some famous people out there hanging out, and the proceeds percentage of that's going to go towards the Fallen Heroes. We're going to have a silent auction for the Fallen Heroes Fund. 100% of that's all going towards the Heroes Fund. So we're just going to raise some money and give it to some good people.
Okay, when is again? What time? How can they get a hold of you or anybody if they want to get involved or want to make it out there to that great event?
Okay, again, it's from 4 until 9 at the Bridgeton Machinist Hall. You know, it may not be everything for the general public due to it's also a tool show.
Right.
But everybody's welcome to come out. Anybody that works on cars at home on the side.
Right.
You know, mechanics, plumbers, anybody deals with automotive mechanical parts and service. They're all welcome to come. If you need anything, just call your local Napa store. Okay. And they can give you more information. I'd love to see everybody out there.
Okay, Chris, this is where is this at in Bridgeton? Do you have an address or a telephone number if they get lost or want to come out?
Well, the Bridgeton Machinist Hall is on the Rock Road in 270.
Okay.
I don't have the address in front of me right this second.
Well, that's pretty. Yeah, you can get around the area. I'm sure they can find it.
And your local Napa store has the address. They can get it for them.
Okay. Chris Hughes, the account manager for Napa Auto Parts. Thank you for the great job with the Napa Auto Parts, but more so than that, thank you. The great job you guys are doing getting behind our veterans. Thank you very much, Mr. Chris.
We appreciate it, Bob.
Hughes. It's an honor and a privilege to have you or anyone like you that cares about our country. Thank you.
Thank you very much. You have a great day.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. You know, we all have to do a little something extra in our life, because if you don't, then you ain't worth a damn. I mean, you ain't worth a damn. Hey, let's get started on some of my community service. And I do want to go crazy again on the Simmons family. You rotten bunch of bastards. I get and I'll talk about it, I get a threatening call. The caller ID comes up, Simmons. And he says, I'm on the show and I'm after Herbie Simmons, Herbie the hemorrhoid, Herbie the little bitch boy that's all up Kern's ass. And my producer gets a call. And it's got Simmons on the caller ID. And the son of a bitch says, if you talk about me, it's going to be the worst mistake you ever made. Now, let me tell you, Simmons, let me tell you, all you rotten bastards in St. Clair County, you no-count son of a bitch and political parasitical punk bitches, I'm putting you all on notice. I'm tired of this crap. You people of St. Clair County, not just St. Clair County, all over this country. Aren't you tired of what's going on? Aren't you tired of being intimidated? Aren't you tired of being talked down to? Aren't you tired of being ignored? And if you're not, then you're a bigger idiot than I am. I've had it. I have had it. You take so much. You take so much. You bend that branch, and you bend that branch, and you bend that branch. Then the son of a bitch breaks. And you rotten, no-count, good-for-nothing, lousy, greasy punks. And I say punks, political punks, because that's what punks do. They go around and tell me, you better watch out. Your relative will lose a job if you talk bad about us. You lose your job. We'll have somebody follow you. We'll get the police on you. And no disrespect to the police, because they're great guys. They just do what these bastards tell them to do. These political pieces of crap. Think about it, people. Unbelievable. I've been going through it. My son's been going through it. You've been going through it. Your sons, your daughters, your family. And we just sit back and take it. There's something in the sound off in the newspaper, and I don't know if I've got it. I've got it somewhere here, that says people better wise up. You better start understanding what's going on. And I think, well, that's not quite right. We all understand what's going on. Just for some reason, we haven't done anything about it. Year after year after year. It just keeps going. But people, I'm going to be one to lead the charge, the political charge. Nothing violent, nothing violent. Violence gets you nowhere. Well, it gets you in jail and get you in the cemetery. But I'm just tired. And if nobody wants to follow my lead, and I'm not a leader, I'll just be the first one to put my foot in the water to see how comfortable or uncomfortable that water is. I don't mind taking the first step. I don't mind taking the first leap. I just hope I've convinced and educated some of you people enough to know that this is not a game. I go crazy. Sometimes I'm crazier than I want to be. Sometimes I'm not as crazy as maybe you want me to be. But it's serious at the end of the day, because it's our lives, it's our futures, our children's futures, our grandchildren's future. And we're going to still sit back. Now, if we sit back, our children, our grandchildren emulate us. You know what they're going to do? They're going to sit back. And their family's going to sit back. And future generations are going to sit back. I think it said 11% people voted in St. Clair County. Now, I've talked with a lot of Democrats, a lot of Republicans, some independents. I think if we all come out and vote who we feel is the right person for the job, not because he's a Democrat, not because he's a Republican, but because he's qualified. These Democrats vote a straight ticket. Somebody tell me to vote a straight ticket. I tell them to kiss my white, hairy, stinky, wrinkled ass. What do you mean vote a straight ticket? I got to look at the people on that ticket. What, do you think I'm an idiot? And yes, they do. They think we're all idiots. Vote straight Democrat. The committeeman down in East St. Louis will be telling their people, vote straight Democrat. You got to vote because he's a Democrat. Well, you people in East St. Louis and Centerville and Cahokia, you voted all these years because a person was a Democrat. Are any of you better now than you were 10, 15, 20 years ago, even 5 years ago? You sit down and think about it when you have your coffee this morning. You're not any better. As a matter of fact, you're worse. You're worse off than you were. They're taking more away. Taxes are higher. We got less benefits. The streets are bad. When you have a big pothole and you run over a hole and you break you flatten your tire or you break your tie rod or you break a shock, you think they're going to come and help you replace it? They don't give a damn. Where's the money for the streets? Where's the money for all the public service? They've given it to idiots like Herb Simmons, the mayor of East Crown Gillette, this ignorant, no-count, jerk-off bastard. This fat son of a bitch, you going to call me out because I came up to the courthouse? This guy couldn't bust a grape. I think his mama back in the day put him in a dress. I kind of remember back in the Roosevelt homes, and he grew up there too, and I'm ashamed to say that I was a neighbor of his. The guys didn't want to play with him. Nobody wanted to play with Herbie. So he played with himself. You know, Herb Simmons. What a piece of crap. And I had a guy here, wants to have a, here it is, the Grim Reaper versus Herb Simmons in a UFC fight style match. And Herb, I'm all for that. He's going to call me out. You want to walk in the street, he told me, and he's got 3 or 4 of his guys around him, and they're going to hold him back. That little bitch, they grabbed him by the dress. He ain't going nowhere. Says Dana White, president of the UFC, let it happen. 1-minute rounds to the finish. The fight will be for charity, of course. And this comes from Sub Dave, and I've never met Sub Dave, but he's got to be crazier than I am. He said, unless Herbie the Hemorrhoid Simmons is a girl, come to think of it, he may be because he doesn't have balls. And he says, this is Sub Marcus, the sub sandwich eater, and I'm eating an all-new chicken bacon ranch, and boy, am I hungry. So, Sub Dave, thank you very much. And Herb Simmons, what a piece of crap you are. I've got a freedom of information about all the functions they have down in East Crown Gillette. And here's what happens, people. All these mayors, they take advantage of their position as mayor. Now, Herb Simmons has wrestling matches, has Elvis concert, has all this stuff down at the East Crown Gillette Civic Center. I've got a freedom of information. I'm going to be putting more out on other communities. Want to know if there's a sales tax ID number, a state sales tax ID number, and I know there's not, but you would have to have one. I would have to have one. Why don't these rotten bastard politicians have to have them? I ask you. Why don't these rotten bastard politicians have to have them? But they don't, because you heard what I said. They're politicians. Let's get our civic community billboard information done, and then we're going back to Herb Simmons. We're going up to the courthouse. You guys got any complaints, any thoughts? This is America's voice of freedom. We are the Patriot. I'll be ranting and raving, but I'll probably take a couple calls if I get time today. So feel free to call toll free 1-888-394-1430. On the east side, 394-1190. Let's discuss these rotten bad. Now, don't use the 7 deadly sin words, so we got to bleep you all the time. But let's talk about, is everybody happy with these no-count son of a bitches? Somebody want to get something off their chest? And don't call me if they didn't pick up your trash yesterday in Belleville. But I mean, I'm serious. They're screwing us up day in and day out. We have to unite people. And again, that's what the St. Clair County Freedom Coalition is all about. It's a patriotic movement. It's a civic movement. It's not a political movement. But as I've said before, sometimes you have to play politics if you're civically involved, because that's the only way to get rid of the crap so the people can get back to normal. Pancake fundraiser this Saturday, September the 19th. Carryout's available. It's for our good friends at the Mid-America Horse Rescue, and it'll be held, where are we at? It'll be held at Grange Hall on Route 163 between Millstadt and Centerville from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. Great people out there. If you can, they go out there and they work with these homeless horses, and it's really, you need to bring give the people a call at 618-530-9747 and bring your children out there. It's free. You can walk around, you can see the horses, they can pet the horses. The Mid-America Horse Rescue, great bunch of people. Their pancake breakfast fundraiser this Saturday, September the 19th at Grange Hall in Millstadt. I've just got this, was handed to me. National Police Thank You Police Day. Mayor Leonard Black, the great mayor of Caseyville, is both pleased and proud to announce the National Thank a Police Officer Day will be recognized on Saturday, September the 19th. In honor of National Thank You Police Officers Day, the Illinois Auxiliary of the Wives Behind the Badge is asking everyone to help paint Illinois blue. The community has recently pulled together to support our local law enforcement within the village of Caseyville. So it makes sense that we partner with surrounding communities to show our sincere appreciation for the men and women of law enforcement on this special day, Mayor Black said. The mayor is asking if we could all show our support by displaying something blue, whether it's a bow, a light, or a supportive message on a local business sign. Paint Illinois Blue is sponsored by the Illinois Auxiliary of Wives Behind the Badge Incorporated. Volunteers with the auxiliary will be selling bows in their local area for $5. Questions about locations to purchase a bow can be directed. You can call the radio station because this is a hell of a long website. But the auxiliary is issuing a challenge to see which town can turn more blue. Participants are asked to make a creative display and submit a photo. Thank you guys very much, Mayor Black. What a great cause! What a great cause to get behind our professional law enforcement. And give us a call if you want the website because it's too long and you guys don't have a pen with you right now anyway. Chicken and Beer Dance, the Quail Club, this Saturday, September the 19th. Tickets $25 per person. Includes chicken, beer, all you can eat and drink, I guess, from 7 to 11 p.m. The Cactus Moon Band, the great band out of Swansea, they'll be there. If you have any informations or concerns, you can contact Dale. It's 618-806-9878. This Saturday from 10 a.m., yes, to 3 p.m. September the 19th. Come rain or shine, the Patriots Park in Greenville, Illinois. Paws in the Park. Bond County's Humane Society's 12th annual Paws in the Park. They're going to have a pet parade at 10 a.m., pet photos all day, canine demonstration, pet nail trimming and polishing, microchipping clinic at 1. Going to be a great time. If you're an animal lover, take your dogs out there. It'll be a great time. What do we have here? Also, coming up this Saturday and Sunday, the 4th annual Caseyville Frontier Days. That's where they got reenactments of the old Frontier Days, and it's really, we were out there last year, the radio station. Really a great time, and I think you would really enjoy it. Thank you very much, and that's Mayor Black. See, when you get a small community and you get someone like Mayor Black, and he is a friend of mine. He's a friend of mine because he's a decent guy. He's out there helping the public, trying to bring things to Caseyville, and this Caseyville Frontier Days is going to be in their park. I mean, they're going to have teepees. They're going to have rawhide demonstrations. It's more than I can explain, but if you bring your children out there, it's a good day. It's a good day for a family event, and it's also free. So thank you very much again, Mayor Black, for all you do. The 10th annual Olivia Schultz Memorial Classic coming up this Saturday, September the 19th. Starts at 12 noon. Shotgun start at 1 p.m. It's at the Woodlands Golf Tournament, and a beautiful lady. This is for research for sudden infant death syndrome, and nothing like the feeling if you lose a loved one. I mean, nobody can explain it. Nobody can explain it. But the good people, Debbie and Steve Schultz, they're keeping their legacy of their daughter on and helping out for sudden infant death syndrome. If you have any questions or concerns, you can contact Steve or Debbie. It's 618-651-9292. On this date, September the 14th, 1814, Francis Scott Key wrote his famous poem, The Star-Spangled Banner, after witnessing the British bombardment of Fort Henry in Maryland. On this date, September the 14th, 1848, Alexander Stewart opened the first department store in the United States. On this date, September the 14th, 1938, Gaff Zeppelin II, the world's largest airship, made its maiden voyage. On this date, September the 14th, 1964, Walt Disney was awarded the Medal of Freedom at the White House. On this date, September the 14th, 1994, at 2:18 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the 1994 professional baseball season was canceled after a month-long players' strike. 1994 became the first year since 1904 without a World Series. That's what happened on this date, September the 14th, throughout all these years in our world's history. We've got something here about the bitch boy down in Hillsboro. Said the freak showed up dressed like a girl's parents should be called and told he's not welcome back to school. And, there's a lot of crap going on with that. and someone sent me something that said, rightfully so, they believe in the rights of this. It's not a transgender. This is an ignorant bitch boy who's trying to pull the wool over everybody's eyes because he's an idiot. But anyway, he has rights. But when his rights interfere, when one person's rights interfere with the rights of everyone else, then I don't think that right is a right anymore. But we're going to talk more about that, not today, but there's all kind of crap going on down there in Hillsborough, people resigning, and it's unbelievable. Jessica, a nice lady. Jessica McClellan, a hard-working lady from Cahokia. She says, there's a couple things you don't mess with. My family, my friends, my hometown, and my patriotism. It's bad enough that Curtis McCall has hurt the citizens of Cahokia. I mean, hasn't he done enough? This low-down piece of crap, she says POS, which is something else, but I'll have to paraphrase that. This POS McCall dishonored the fallen heroes, victims, families, and friends, and all good citizens of the United States on 9/11. I guess they nickname him Spanky. Yeah, maybe that's a sexual thing. I don't know. I found out Spanky, which is Curtis McCall Jr., the unillustrious mayor of Cahokia, and his gang neglected to lower the flags in the village of Cahokia on 9/11. I'm so pissed off, I called them out on Facebook and told them I would personally see that they were publicly shamed for this. So will you do this old gal a favor and call the rotten, disgraceful, pathetic, no-count, good-for-nothing, lousy son of a bitch an excuse for a mayor? Will you call that bastard out? Shame on them, Bob. Shame on them. Feel free to read this email and use my name. After all, I said I would see that they were shamed in public. I thank you in advance, Bob. Jessica McClellan. She's from the Cahokia area. What a beautiful lady. She's fighting the cause. But, they didn't do it in Belleville. I didn't see the courthouse flags flying at half-staff. I didn't see the Belleville flag this weekend. Friday, but most people took it through the weekend. I've driven all throughout the East St. Louis area over the weekend. Most towns had their flag at half-staff. I know Caseyville did. Other towns did. But Belleville didn't. St. Clair County didn't. Cahokia didn't. That's a pattern. All these bastards are part of the St. Clair County Democratic Central Committee. They're all part of this culture of corruption in St. Clair County. But thank you, Jessica, and you rotten bastards out there in Cahokia, the mayor of Cahokia, you no-count son of a bitches. You live in this great country. You need to support and back this great country. But no, typical politicians, they don't do anything but take. Talk with Patrick Furtall, and they're down in, let me find out. He represents the Washington County Ambulance Service out of Potosi, Missouri. They're having a golf tournament on September the 19th to raise money for the Backstoppers, a great cause for our law enforcement. I'm writing to see and ask KQQZ to sponsor a hole. We will do that, and we will send some T-shirts out for attendance prizes. Thank you in advance. And you did hear from us, and you'll hear from us again. That's the out in Potosi. They're going to have a golf tournament, and we'll try to get some information. They're supposed to be calling me tomorrow to give us some additional information. I want to say hi to Carl Price from Carl's Auto Body in Marine, Illinois. I met him in Grafton yesterday. And meet a lot of great people, and they really come up to me. I don't know why. They want to take a picture with me, and I know why it is. Because they want to show their girlfriends that they're not the ugliest son of a bitches around. Be thankful that you're dating me, honey, than this ignorant son of a bitch that I got a picture with, Bob Romanik. And that's okay. If I can help these guys out in their sex life and their love life, I'll feel like I've done something positive. But Carl Price, thank you very much, buddy. I appreciate you listening to the show. Carl's Auto Body out of Marine. I was at a bachelor party in Mascoutah on Saturday. What a great bunch of guys. What a great bunch of people in Mascoutah, Illinois. All the great guys. I want to tell you thanks. I was going to be there an hour. I was invited out, and we talked. I stayed there about 3.5 hours, but great people. And I want to put a special shout out to Danny Cross from Southside Auto Body in Mascoutah, one of the best auto body men in the country. Danny Cross, thank you very much. All the guys out there were just, you know what, they must not really known who I was, because they really treated me better than better. And I want to thank all you guys. Don't have time to read off all your names, but I do want to say hi to Kevin Cheek, and I hope I get this right, Joe Shemensky and Kevin Cheek. They work for Union Pacific in Dupo. They say that they listen to the show all the time, all the guys out to Union Pacific do, and I want to salute all the railroad workers, all the engineers, all the conductors, everybody that works for not just Union Pacific, because we never acknowledge the railroad people. You know, that's how we get a lot of our resources in, through the railroad. So Kevin Cheeks, Joe Semensky, and everyone at Union Pacific in Dupo, thank you very much. A bunch of guys listening to the radio. Don't forget, you can pick me up on iTunes. Type in Bob Romanik and or the Grim Reaper of Radio. You can go to our streaming at insanebroadcasting.com. One word, common spelling. You can like us on Facebook at KQQZ 1190 AM or our sister station at KZQZ 1430 AM. You can hear my repeat performance every day at 4 o'clock p.m., Monday through Friday. And now broadcasting from the graveyard to the graveyard shift every night, Monday through Friday at the stroke of midnight. Again, we are America's voice of freedom, the Patriot. Call toll-free, 1-888-394-1430. On the east side, 394-1190 if you got something to bitch about. Because when we come back, Herbie Simmons, if you can hear me, if you can pull your head, your big, greasy, black, well, it's only black because he dyes it. And that hair is, I tell you what, if President Obama ever saw Herbie the Hemorrhoid Simmons, he would declare him a natural resource, because that is the smelliest, ugliest, stupidest, nastiest, greasiest haired son of a bitch walking the face of this earth. And Herb Simmons, I'll be coming after you and the rest of you rotten bastards up there at the courthouse right after this break. This is Bob Romanik. The Grim Reaper of Radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, America's bi-state voice of freedom, your guardian of the First Amendment, Radical Radio, and we stand tall as the Patriot.
From KQQZ 1190 AM, St. Louis, Missouri, USA, you're listening to Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of Radio.
This is Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of Radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, America's bi-state voice of freedom. And proud, very proud to be your First Amendment and all-American station, Radical Radio at its finest. And we stand tall, as always, stand tall and proud to be the Patriot. I announced a couple days ago I'm running for state representative in the 114th State Representative District. I'm running against Eddie the Gerbil Jackson, and I had quite a few calls, people wanting to help. And if you're in the 114th District or even around it and want to help out, help me or help anybody at the Freedom Coalition, you can call toll-free 1-888-394-1430 on the east side, 394-1190, because we're starting to get recruits for our St. Clair County Freedom Coalition militia. Political militia, of course. Nothing ever violent. The political militia. We're all going to start banding together here shortly. But anybody in the 114th Illinois State Representative District, and that covers Freeburg, Smith, part of Smithton, Lebanon, part of O'Fallon, all of Shiloh, Scott Air Base, East St. Louis, Washington Park, part of Cahokia, all of Centerville and Allerton. I'd appreciate your help. I've got quite a few people on board. And we want to get quite a few more, because it's a movement, people. And it's not about me, it's about us. It's about all of us. And we have to start this movement now, because November of 2016, I think you're going to see a hell of a change. And it's going to be a positive change. And it's going to be people working with people, not politicians screwing people. I'm tired of it, and I put you bastards on notice again. And I hope everybody else in their mind puts these son of a bitches on notice and let them know. But see, we just can't talk the talk, people. We got to walk the walk. We got to not only tell them what we do. You heard what I said before. Don't judge somebody what they tell you they're going to do. Judge somebody for what they do. And they're going to be judging the St. Clair County Freedom Coalition. And it's part of you people. It's not a big elite organization. It's part of you people. It's part of me. It's part of all of us. It's part of everybody that loves this country but hates some of the governmental crap going on. So we can all get involved. If you don't want to get involved today, I sound like a preacher on the radio. Send your money in. I'll send you a prayer cloth. You know what? Call and send your good tidings in. Call and send your help in. Call and send your support in. We don't want any money. We don't need money. We need support for all the Democrats, all the Republicans, all the independents, all the men, women, black and white, who have been screwed by these political bastard punk son of a bitches. And not just in St. Clair County. You've heard me before. People will say, hey, Bob, it's the same here in Jefferson County, Washington County, St. Louis County, St. Charles County, Monroe County. There's a lot of good political people, a lot of good political leaders, public servants. But there's also a whole lot of cockroaches. And I have to apologize for the cockroaches, so I'll let that go. I got to, real quick, there was some people talking about Parks. What a good job he's done. What idiots are out there? There are some complete idiot, stupid, ignorant son of a bitches. And they're not politicians, they're citizens. Cheers for Parks. I welcome Parks as our new city manager. Listen to this. He breathes a wealth of knowledge, intelligence, diligence. This son of a bitch for 8-9 years have screwed you people in East St. Louis. This ain't a different Alvin Parks who just come to town. This is the Alvin Parks, 8 years of mayor, who screwed everybody. And you say that he brings a breath of wealth, of knowledge and intelligence and diligence? What? I mean, we must be in the Twilight Zone. I must be broadcasting to the Twilight Zone. Unbelievable. City manager Alvin Parks was on a truck helping to cut weeds. If you people fall for that crap, they're like the bastards at Christmas time. They're like the bastards at Thanksgiving time. They're going to flip a piece of meat on a tray and get a photo shoot, and then they're gone. Please, people, don't fall. Don't fall for this crap. Hey, in Madison County, they've appointed 3 new judges. They appointed a couple judges in St. Clair County. Do you notice every Republican lawyer must be uneducated, unqualified, because they never play fair. The Democrats in St. Clair County and Madison County, and I think we're going to start more time closer to the election, a 2-hour show, because we're going to go up there to Madison County because they got some pieces of crap walking around, or I should say floating around in the cesspool up there. But they always appoint Democratic judges. I don't give a damn if it's a Democrat. I don't give a damn if it's a Republican. I give a damn if they're qualified. And don't tell me there's not a lot of good Republicans that are qualified. And that's why I tell you, good people, you got to quit. You got to quit thinking Democrat, Republican. You got to start thinking qualifications. And you think qualifications because that's what's going to help us. That's what's going to help our future generations. So qualifications are what we're looking for. We're not looking for an R behind your name or a D behind your name. Also, state promises more scrutiny on parole board. I'm the one that broke the story on Vanetta Rush. That's Senator Foghorn. I say Buckwheat Clay Barnes, little lady friend that was coming out of his house, or should I say, my adjective would be sneaking out of his house one morning at 6 o'clock. Remember, he got her a job on the prison parole board. She's filed bankruptcy. Now they found out 2 or 3 others on the prison parole board have filed bankruptcy, and there's some nefarious activities going on. I think everyone on that parole board should resign immediately. I think Governor Rauner, after he knows all these facts, and that just shows you what kind of people the Senator Foghorn, I say Buckwheat Claiborne is putting in office to prison review board. This idiot lady of his, couldn't even pay her bills. $400,000 in bankruptcy. And she's a pillar of the community? Pillar of the community, my ass. She's a friend of Claiborne who makes over $85,000 a year doing nothing. People, we got to put a stop to it. Put a stop to it. Here's what we got to put a stop to. We're going to talk about Lindenwood tomorrow. I hope we can get Alderman Mike Bickner on. He's been fighting Lindenwood. They're putting 16, 17 people into these houses that they call dorms now. In the city of Belleville, Pussy Boy, also known as Maximus Vaginus Eckert, he's letting them get away with it. You know, you're not the single leader, you're not the single representative of Belleville. There's aldermen, there's people that need to have the information. They are the people that decide what goes on, Eckert, not you. But in Ecker's also, and we're going to get into it closer to the election, you go by 111 South High Street in Belleville. That's a medical clinic. Mark Sweetcakes Kern allegedly lives there, and I said allegedly lives there, him and his family. And if he does, he must be a piss-poor father. You got to have ingress and egress to your windows in case of a fire. You look at that building that his wife swore under oath in my case that I won in 5 minutes that they live there. They can't live there. It's unsafe. And for anybody with the money that the Kerns have to subject their daughters and sons to that kind of tragedy, potential tragedy, I think you're not only a piss-poor politician, Mark Sweetcakes Kern, and it just hurts me to say, I think you're even worse of a father. And that's the ultimate insult you can give any true father, any true loving father. This is Bob Romanik. The Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, America's bi-state voice of freedom, radical radio, and we are, as always, proud, very proud to be the Patriot.
From KQQZ 1190 AM, St. Louis, Missouri, USA, you're listening to Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio.
This is Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, America's bi-state voice of freedom, radical radio. And we are, as always, proud, very proud to be the Patriot. Friday, everybody knew that I exposed Jeremy Simmons. He's the son of Herb Simmons. And I was talking about him about 11:15. And after my show, I talked to one of my producers. They called up. And the phone ID was for Simmons. And he says, you talk about me, it'd be the worst mistake you ever made. So, hey, Simmons, I'm going up to the state's attorney's office. Not that I give a damn about what you say or what you do, but I can step on somebody's alleged property and have 3.5 years of bull crap. I'm tired, and people of St. Clair County, you need to be tired. But now, Herb Simmons, the 911 coordinator, somebody said he couldn't even, he wasn't smart enough to put that together, 911. But this bastard's got a high school education. And again, nothing against people with high school education. You can be my best friend, but if you don't have a pilot's license, you're not flying my plane. And the 911 organization is one of the most important organizations in St. Clair County. But because Herb Simmons, Herb the Hemorrhoid Simmons, is all up Kern's ass, he gets to be the director of 911. That's what you people have been going through. But anyway, what a great leader he is, because he sure didn't lead his family. His one son, Jeremy, and I've got it right here, attempted aggravated arson. Attempted aggravated arson was the fire in Dupo in the school. There was somebody in there, could have burned up. The arson, they pled out to a Class 2 felony. They give him, because he's Herb Simmons' son, and Herb Simmons was working with Marion Michelon, the U.S. attorney at that time, and they said he was a wealth of information, if you know what I mean. They give him probation. And then Herb Simmons, the mayor, thinks, hey, what the hell? I'm Herb Simmons. I can do what I want. They have Jeremy Simmons' record expunged, and then they make him the public safety director. He was all over the Facebook saying that he was a public safety director, showing his badge. And he had experience showing his badge because he took his dad's badge. His dad was a special U.S. Marshal because he was a wealth of information for Marion Miquelon back in the day, a wealth of information on Guido Costello, all the Democrats in St. Clair County. So this is how they reward him, but that's okay. That's their business. But they have it expunged, and then Herb Simmons, the mayor, the fat ass, hey, Herbie, quit dyeing that greasy hair. It must take you a ton of dye to stick to that grease on your hair. But anyway, where's that from coming out of Sweet Cakes Kern's little booty? That could be it. You know, maybe that's feces on the top of his head coming out of Mark Sweet Cake Kern's ass, because everybody knows that Herb Simmons, wherever Kern's at, Herb Simmons is at. Herb Simmons has his truck all painted up last time with Mark Kern. What kind of man does that? Maybe a man in the Rainbow Coalition. I say maybe, I don't know. And you know what the Rainbow Coalition's all about. But he makes him the public safety director. Now, Jeremy Simmons, and hey, Simmons, give me another threatening call, will you? He's the assistant chief, they tell me, in the Midway Fire Department out in the Ping Pong area on Outer State Street. He's a fireman, I believe, in Washington Park, and maybe even still Prairie du Rocher, where he had all the problems. But this is Herb Simmons' son, a politician's son. Your son wouldn't get away with it. My son wouldn't get away with it. But they can get away with it, people. That's the elitist attitude that these bastards have. But Herb Simmons is running the 911. Herb, you can't lead the 911. You can't lead your family. They tell me your house is burnt down twice. I just want to ask, was your son around when it happened? Your house has been burnt down and built twice. And now I find out Jason E. Simmons, and I don't know if that's the Jason E. Simmons from East Carondelet, but that's what it says here on the federal find a prisoner registry. Jason E. Simmons, a white male, 37, of East Carondelet, Illinois. Is that your other son, Herbie? I'm just asking. This guy went down for federal narcotics violations. Just was released in May of this year. Now, I don't know. Herb Simmons, is this the Jason E. Simmons, 37-year-old male from East Carondelet, registration number 09381-025? If that's your son, Herbie, what the hell? You can't control your family. How the hell can you control the 911, one of the most important departments in St. Clair County? You're not qualified, Herbie. You know it. You ought to be ashamed walking down the street. You ought to be ashamed. And we're going to talk about this a little bit more tomorrow. But Jason E. Simmons, is that your son, Herbie, that was released on 5/28/2015 out of East Carondelet, Illinois? Federal criminal number 09381-025. If that is your son, Herbie, you've done a hell of a bad job raising your family. But even worse than that, we're not going to get away with letting you do what you want in East Carondelet. How egregious was it to make your son the public safety director for East Carondelet? You knew what went on. Everybody in Dupo talks about it. Everybody in East Carondelet talks about it behind your back. But Jason E. Simmons, if you're the son of Herb Simmons, and if you were the one that went to federal prisons for drug violations, I feel sorry for you. Not that you went to federal prison, and not that you had to spend some time in federal prisons for the wrong things you've done, but I feel sorry for you for being the son of such a rotten piece of less than a man crap, Herb Simmons. And Herb, I've got those emails. They want me and you to do a little razzling or a little boxing. I told you this bitch going to call me out. He couldn't bust a grape. Now, I didn't call the police and say I wanted a warrant sworn out for assault, because he assaulted me. Men don't do that. But Herb Simmons, you piece of crap, we're going to be on you day in and day out. And you can identify Herb Simmons for two reasons. Number one, he's a fat, greasy, little sleazy little snake bastard. But number two, when you see Mark Kern, look down at Mark Kern's ass, the backside, and that nose is the nose that belongs to Herb the Hemorrhoid Simmons, you piece of crap. And Herbie, feel free to give me a call, 394-1190, and we'll be on these bastards. Anybody got any additional information out in East Carondelet or whatever, let me know, because we're coming after to see. We've got a Freedom Information, and I think the newspaper does also, to find out who's getting all this money, who's paying the taxes. It's going to be real interesting in East Carondelet, and I wonder if, at the end of the day, if it happens, if Mark Sweet Cakes Kern can help Herbie get some special dispensation. You couldn't, I couldn't. We're going to make sure Herbie the Hemorrhoid Simmons, doesn't get any either. Okay, with me, and we've got a few minutes left, the world renowned, and this gentleman's been all over the place, Charlie America, nationally known political consultant, advisor, and operative. Charlie America, how the hell you doing? And nice seeing you, buddy.
I'm doing good, Bob. How are you?
I'm doing great. What's going on in your political world?
Listen, I just got 3 items for you here at the tag end. One is I'm heading to California to cover the Republican debates and inviting all of the candidates to come here so they can get both coverage in Illinois and Missouri and be on the show. I'm going to individually invite each one of the campaigns to do that out in California.
Well, I'll tell you what, some of them do listen. I'm telling you, there's some of their people, because they're interested in Southern Illinois, the movement, this political movement going on, or I'm sorry, this not political movement, this patriotic movement. I talk politics all the time with the St. Clair County Freedom Coalition, and someone told me that they're going to make this the flagship and going to try to put this on all throughout the country in smaller groups.
Well, that's right, Bob, and that's the other item that I really have for you is we do think this can be national. I hear about it in Washington, where I'm based out of. I'm going to be seeing my brother, Jerry America. He's one of the triplets out in California. He's a political consultant out there. And towards that end, I want to say something today. I want to, in appreciation to your son and Insane Broadcasting and all the support you've given me on my reporting, I've gone ahead and purchased the internet link, freedom-coalition.com and .org. In his name, and I'm going to hand it over to Roger and Carl Officer this afternoon so that it starts here in St. Clair County, but we think it's going to be a revolution across the country.
You know what, Charlie? I do, and you know why I do? Because all we are just individuals. We're all people. We don't want to be politicians, but if the normal people take this country back, they will feel for the people, the less fortunate, and something be done. These bastards getting these highfalutin political positions with all this big money, They leave their good thoughts at home, and they go to Springfield, they go to Washington, they go to all these state capitals, and they give a damn less about the people, their bosses, the people that put them there.
Totally agree, Bob.
What, anything else on your plate?
No. One thing, though, my brother Jerry did say that he would love to come here and moderate the debates in St. Clair County, which I guess is going to include yourself and a lot of other people if you want an unbiased view of that.
You know what, Charlie, what we're going to do, and I do a radio show, and when I'm running for state representative, I have to give Eddie the Gerbil Jackson, I have to give him equal time. So, Eddie, you can come up and do a show right after mine. We can come up and co-host the show. But I tell you, you greasy bastard, bring your own chair, because I don't want to have it disinfected for lice and bugs and roaches every time you leave. So you'll have to take a shower too, Eddie. We'll have to get certification, because you greasy bastard, I don't know what you'd bring up here. So, hey, Charlie America, thank you very much. You keep us informed as to what's going on.
I'll report back from California, Bob. Thanks a lot, and thanks for letting me use the jet.
Hey, you're a good man, Charlie. Hey, this guy, Charlie America, he gets all over, and this gentleman comes up with so much information. There's political leaders, there's United States senators, there's congressmen, there's people that calling him, asking him for advice. And I guess that's because they are that stupid. But Charlie's been all around the country. He's a friend of some of our people down here, and he's given us a little extra. And I sure appreciate it. He's given us a lot of guidance. He's consulting us. And I think it's going to be good for everybody, especially the St. Clair County Freedom Coalition. We're out of time. We got to go. Come back tomorrow. We're going to be on John Bear Civic. We're going to be on Amika Yastinka Jackson. We're going to come back probably on Herb Simmons. I got to hit a little bit of Eddie the Gerbil, Eddie Lee Jackson. What bitch man's called Eddie Lee? Are you crazy? We'll be back tomorrow. This is Bob Romanik. the Grim Reaper of radio, and you've been listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, America's bi-state voice of freedom, radical radio at its finest. And it gets worse when you keep listening. It will get worse. Never will it get better. And we are, as always, proud to be the Patriot. Come on back tomorrow. We'll be fighting. We'll be fighting these rotten, no good son of a bitches. We'll be fighting for truth. We'll be fighting for justice. We'll be fighting for the American way. We'll be fighting for all of us. So let's all unite, people. And you know I go crazy, but I'm serious as a heart attack. We have to get past this Democrat, Republican. We have to get past all this culture of corruption all throughout this country. We have to, as a people, black, white, men, women, Democrats, Republicans, we have to get together and vote the person, not the party. The person that's going to do for all of us, not the party that's going to screw all of us. And we can continue to do that by uniting, by exposing, dragging these no-count political, parasitical, perverted, punk, bitch politicians, and eventually shoving them over the edge and sending them to their demise, shoving them over the political edge, of course, and sending them to their political demise, of course, right here on the dark side.
They're coming to take me away, ha-ha. They're coming to take me away, ho-ho, hee-hee, ha-ha. To the funny farm where life is beautiful all the time. And I'll be happy to see those nice young men in their clean white coats. And they're coming to take me away, ha-ha.
The Patriot.
Your First Amendment and All-American Station. A division of Insane Broadcasting. Renegade Radio.
KQQZ, St. Louis.